This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, Sean McGuire, Laura and Johnny Lewis, and Rikky Morrisette. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Mr. Roboto and J. Lou Rocks to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We also have a quick name correction for David Sturgill. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, really appreciate it. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 30 and 31 of The Sex in the Igloo. Wait,
there we go.
What? I mean,
oh my God,
the
you
Fires
said it.
of Heaven.
I can't believe you said that.
It.
So, chapter 30 is A Wager, and chapter 31 is The Far Snows. And by request, this is for video, on video, for our lovely patrons.
Unedited.
Yes.
That's
Holy
what
smokes.
it'll be for them. Released for them. You get to see all my winks.
I gotta tell you,
Shoulder shrugs.
people have been waiting so long since the beginning of the entire podcast. We've been waiting for us to arrive at this moment.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, and let me tell you, in the first chapter and the second chapter,
Okay.
there are some things that are confirmed for me as completely, like, I get my predictions completely right.
Okay.
And there are some other things, clearly, well, my prediction was wrong. And I'm okay with all of it. I'm okay with all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not confirmed. We're not sure if they did or did not do the thing that we think
Oh,
that
no,
they did.
100% they did the thing that we think that they did.
Unconfirmed. I didn't see it, so I don't know. Okay.
Oh, I think we saw it.
Okay, let's get
This
into
is
this.
as much seeing it, I think, as we're ever gonna see.
I
maybe.
know, and I'm going to start us off because I want to do this fun fact, because I know why you showed up today, and I know why the people showed up today, and why everyone's listening to this episode today.
Is your fun fact about igloos?
It's about igloos.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not about sex, it's about the igloo part. So here we go. Couple fun facts. So first off, igloo comes from the Inuit word for home, and usually obviously associated with being built from snow, but they can also be made from wood, stone, or cement. So some igloos are built large enough to hold up to 20 adults. With the inside and outside of an igloo, the snow and ice work as insulators to trap body heat inside the igloo. So that part checks out in the chapter, right?
Yes.
So the people inside act as a furnace by providing their own heat. So this is the neat part. Even with outside temperatures of the igloo being like minus 50 degrees Celsius, which is about the same in Fahrenheit, inside, it can get up to about 16 degrees Celsius, which is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice room temperature.
Nice room temperature. It's
A little
good.
cold, but
little chilly, but it's like it's warmer than I thought.
That's
I
way
didn't
better.
know that. So, and then the last one here, and this is good. The snow inside will start to melt after a few days of being occupied, and then when it's unoccupied, the melted snow will refreeze. So the gradual thawing and freezing turns the structure into like basically complete ice. So it gets stronger
The longer
over time.
it's built
Yeah, exactly.
and the more it's used.
So yeah,
Okay.
very cool.
That is pretty
There you
cool.
go, igloo facts.
Yeah. Well, I know that you want to know that last time, Swan and Min and Liana were all just like in trouble
Right. Yes.
in Saladar.
Yes.
Gareth Bryn showed up. They have to keep their oath.
Yep.
Swan's plan is a mess. They want Moraine to be the Amerlin, but now Gareth Bryn is there, who's going to lead an army against the tower.
Right.
Like,
it's all going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's a mess over there.
Okay.
But we're going to leave that alone for now.
Yeah, we got more important things to get to.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, Rand and crew have been traveling like crazy.
Yes.
They just got into Kyrian. Last we heard from them, and like Egwene, and giving us all that insight about Couladin and the Shido,
Yeah.
and how they're about a week behind them.
Yes. So just to clarify, they just got into Kyrian the nation.
Yes.
Because that's going to be important again.
I know. This
Later on.
this part didn't confuse. There was a lot of things that confused me.
That part didn't?
That part didn't.
Cool. Okay.
I totally got it because Rand clarifies he's like the city of Kyrian.
Yes.
He says that in the chapter, and I go, oh, duh. Okay.
Just in case.
Just in case. And then also, we saw a little bit from Kadir,
Yes, we did.
the Dark Friend, who
He
murders
murdered her.
Lysandre.
Yeah, he did.
And then chops her up and disposes of her, and everyone's gonna think she just, like, ran away somehow.
Huh?
I don't know how he's, like, just burying and disposing of a body with, like, Aiel around everywhere.
That's a good question.
They are clearly good at seeing stuff, and maybe they see it happen and just let it happen.
Maybe that's possible too.
Because they just like don't care.
That's possible.
I'm
not gonna say that's not actually
because they don't care about what the wetlanders are doing. Okay. Anyway, so he had said that they're about a month or something into Kyrian.
Yeah, it was around that. No, it was 2 months since Ruidian. I think.
And I thought it took them a month. No,
did
I make that up in my head?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the time frame we got was 2 months. I don't want to go back and check.
Yeah, that's fine. It was 2 months since we left Ruidian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A month makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so chapter 30 is called A Wager, and we get the chapter symbol of the dragon.
Yeah, very cool.
Okay.
I like the dragon symbol.
It's like Rand. It's just like here's a little bit of Rand for you. That's what that says. Okay, so we're entering in a Rand perspective. It's nighttime, and he's on a bridge in the middle of this small town called Ianrod. Sure. And he's getting some quality alone time in by just, watching the water of this shriveled up river.
We're setting the scene right now.
We're setting the scene. It's running under the bridge. It's all very zen. He's away from Moraine, which is like his favorite thing. And we get a little bit of a recap about what Moraine's been doing.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Yeah, so she's ramped up her invasion of his privacy. And her lessons.
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
So she's been bringing him his meals and lecturing him while he eats.
Yes.
Because he can't get away from her that way. And it's like she's trying to cram everything she knows into his head before reaching the city of Kyrian.
Yes.
Now, I get why Rand is annoyed by this.
Okay.
But I do think that things she has to say are beneficial.
Yeah.
I just think that their entire relationship doesn't lend well to what she's trying to do. If anything, she should tell, this is what I was thinking actually just by myself.
Okay.
I was thinking about what Moraine should actually be doing.
Okay.
She should be telling Lan this information.
Okay.
And then sort of while they're fighting or if they have off time, Lan, somebody that he trusts and respects, should sneak in some tidbits.
Okay.
Instead of her just screaming this information at the side of his face, which is how I imagine it to go.
Okay. Well, here's the thing though. He clearly is letting her do it. So the relationship isn't as bad as it used to be, where he would just boot her out.
But he's still so annoyed by it, not really listening to half the things she's saying.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because he is thinking later in the chapter about it's positive that she taught him some things. He's remembering some of the lessons. And then later on, he thinks to himself, oh man, I need to hear what Moraine says about this one. Okay. And he's thinking about how he wants her lesson. So it's all
Why do you think Moraine's ramping up the lessons? Is it just Rand sort of still unprepared to take on the roles he's...
Very.
Okay.
And I think that she completely understands Kyrian.
It's you gotta know more stuff, man.
Considering where she's come from and...
She's from here.
Yeah. And she knows that, you know, Elida's in the White Tower now, so...
That's true.
Anything that Rand can know is...
It's more knowledge.
It's just also a way for her to control what he says and does.
Okay.
Right? Because if he's just going to go and say and do whatever the hell he wants, then she lost control. Yeah. And I think that she loves her control so much.
It's exerting some sort of power. I get that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, we also get that at one point she was begging him to stay because he was kicking her out, and he was like, "Oh my god, I almost wanted to just let her talk because that seems terrible."
Seems desperate,
but it also seems like that's part of her plan.
It's working.
It's working. Okay, so there's no rain here. The wells have dried up. Ram thinks about how once he caused a whole bunch of rain, but he can't remember how to do it.
Yeah.
No, it's kind of like a spur-of-the-moment type of situation. Instinctual.
Yeah, very instinctual. I was going to say, intuitive magic, where he just, does what feels like what he has to do. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, we do note that Asmodean, not good at weather stuff.
Right, probably because he's a dude.
And he also remembers that Semirog isn't good at the weather stuff.
Right.
But that's not an Asmodean teachings thing.
No, that's just something he remembers. And then he's like, shit, no time for that now. Don't think about that.
Yeah, where that came from, so.
Right.
Oh, big point we got to talk about.
Oh, what?
Because in this like little segment here with Rand thinking about this stuff, we get, and we've talked about it, but he thinks to himself that Rand is like realizing the Forsaken are just regular
They're just
people.
people.
Yeah, they're people, and they got like, weaknesses, and they're just
Sure.
like, they make mistakes.
And they might be really powerful in the power.
But they're just people. And I mean,
Yeah.
but that's a big thing for him to realize. They're not like immortal. Well, they might be immortal, but they're not like gods
They're
among
clearly
people.
not immortal.
Yeah,
They can die.
I know, that was the wrong word. That's why I said not immortal.
Oh, not immortal.
Yeah, they're not like superhuman. They're not superheroes or anything like that.
Right.
They're just people with exceptional knowledge.
Right.
and
It's
talent.
not like the Dark One.
Exactly.
Like he was originally thinking.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the maidens comes up.
Yes, Sulin.
Sulin.
You have to learn more names
Sulin.
of Aes Sedai and Aiel and the Tairen High Lords and the Kyriannin Lords. Don't worry. We got a project in the works. It's going to help out.
A project
Yes.
in the works.
No, I'm not even going to talk. I said more than I should already.
Oh,
But don't
no.
worry. Okay.
I don't want it.
It's
Can
not
I
just
say
for you.
no?
It's for the people. You
It's for
can't
the
say no.
people.
It's already done.
If it's for the people, I say yes.
Yeah, this is like a super spoiler. So like we're not going
Oh
to talk
my
about it more.
goodness.
Yeah.
Brett.
Okay.
I thought you were better at this.
Well, that was
You give me
that was an on purpose slip.
Ooh, a
Whoops.
little bit of bait there.
Okay.
Little carrot.
Anyway, so Sulin, that's her.
Comes up.
Yeah.
Tells Rand that, okay, we're calling it for the night because we were gambling and everything is just rolling up sixes.
Yeah.
For
that's
everybody.
That's that weird thing.
Yeah. Well, my original thought was Matt.
Oh.
I was like, where's Matt? Is he playing? Because he controls the dice
That's
more than
true.
anything. And Rand immediately assumes it's him.
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
It doesn't.
Tairen is Tairen.
Yeah.
Luck, power is
Same.
the same thing.
Doesn't matter. They're not gambling anymore.
No. And so then we also do get a little side note about how Rand's Tairen-ness
That there is weird stuff going
affecting
on.
things around. And I think the most important thing that we get is that Rand is accepting it.
Oh. Okay.
Rand is acknowledging
Okay.
and accepting.
Okay.
So those I know what you thought I was going to say. But
Okay.
the whole blood feud thing.
Yeah, that's the most
That's
important
obviously
thing.
that's obviously
Okay.
really important.
Okay.
But listen, I do think that that stuff's good and important and whatever.
Sure.
But in the overall story and character arc of Rand,
Yes.
he's accepting and understanding what being Tairen means.
That's fair. I agree with that. That is important.
Because before, when all those weddings were happening in some random town in like Gildan, I don't even remember where they were.
They were somewhere. Yeah.
They were somewhere, and he was just like, gotta go. And he was just like, this place is weird. I don't know. He just ran away. So now he's acknowledging.
Good.
And
Okay.
accepting.
Now let's get to the other really good news.
No one got bit by snakes.
That's also that's not bad news.
Some guy died tripping on grass.
The Saddlemaker dude. Yep.
That's bad.
The guy who survived like the original attack by the
Yeah.
Shido
I know.
and tripped and fell on flat ground. It's like pour one out. But yeah. So the good news.
No, let me see if I can remember it. The Sharad.
Okay.
Sharad, is that
Yep,
it?
yeah.
And Goshen
Yes,
have mended their blood feud
they have. And why is that really good news?
because of Bane and Gaul.
Bane and Chiad and Gaul.
Bane and Chiad and Gaul. All
Yeah.
of them. Yeah.
Bane and Gaul are both
Those guys,
Sharad,
like, where the hell are
and
those
Chiad
guys?
is Goshen.
This whole book, we're more than halfway now.
That's true.
No
look-
mention of them. I mean, like, no mention
yeah,
of
that's fair.
Loyal. No
Okay.
mention of Perrin and Fael.
That's fair.
Where are those guys?
What are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. But yeah, that's the important part is blood feud's over. So now we just need the news of the blood feud being over to get to them somehow.
Well, there's a lot of news that needs to get to them, and I don't know if that's the most important of the news.
It's pretty up there.
I don't think they care.
Well.
They've clearly mended it themselves.
Okay. I like it. I
know. It's important. It's good.
'Kay.
But there are so many other things that those three Aiel need to get caught up on.
Rand's Kara Karn, the Aiel are broken. They used to be Tinkers, basically. There's
so
a lot of
many
stuff.
things.
Okay.
The Threefold Land is breaking.
Yikes.
It's a whole thing, and they don't even know. And it's going to be old news now by the time
Yeah.
they get here.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, you don't know?
Oh, you don't know that?
Oh, you don't know?
You live under a stupid rock? Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, so Rand has a little bit of a comment
Yeah.
about how Okay, I'm going to try these names.
A little comment.
Enila
Yeah.
and Adolin.
Yeah. Adelin.
Adelin.
I say Adelin.
Okay, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
They have been gone for days.
They have been. So those are the ones from the Drakar attack.
Okay, which seems like it was a long time ago now. Like more than days. Unless we're going back in time from the...
Yeah. Again.
I hate timeline stuff.
Well, no, yeah. So like
they've been gone for a little while. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Because like
they've
if
been
you
gone
say
for a while.
days, then I'm confused and I don't like that. So...
It's all very loosey-goosey.
Okay. So they've been gone. Turns out, Sulin says they'll return when they learn to stop playing with dolls.
Yeah.
Which is that whole punishment.
Yeah.
That Egwene was like,
Drakar thing.
why do they have to do that?
Yeah.
It's like, Egwene, you had to do that.
You can't just ask people why they're carrying dolls.
So, this is very confusing to Rand. And then he's like, well, go tell them that they're grown women and should act like it. And she's like, okay.
Yes.
Okay, Rand.
I will say that.
I will let them know. And then, just to, like, quell any, of this awkward confusion, she's like, okay, Rand, you gotta eat now.
Yeah.
You're gonna get sick if you don't eat. People are gonna think you're sick if you don't eat. Just, you gotta eat now.
Gotta eat. Be the motherly figure.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, well, Maureen's probably sleeping by now, so okay, I'll eat. There we go. So, then he's about to leave, and we get about 20 or so soldiers riding up, like, on horseback, surrounded by Aiel guards. And it's a bunch of Tairens.
Yes.
And some Kyrian.
Yeah, Kyriannin.
Kyriannin.
They're from Kyrian, and they're Kyriannin.
They are Kyriannins.
Yeah.
And the folks from Tyr
are Tairens.
Tairens.
Yes.
Okay, so we get a lot of description, but this is my number one thing that I was excited about seeing.
Okay.
Because I've been wondering, what are the Tyr doing? The Tairens doing?
Yeah.
In Kyrian.
Yeah.
And are they listening to the rules? How's it going?
I mean, it sounds like they're sort of doing what they're sort of supposed to be doing, sort of.
They're like, no. I don't think that they're feeding the hungry.
Okay.
That was, Rand wasn't like, go there, don't go there and take it. Go there and like help. I guess they're helping the Kyriannins.
They're helping, and everything was going, well, we don't know how things are going.
It sounds like Tyr and Kyrian have formed some sort of alliance.
Yeah. So the Tairen lords did leave to try and go get help, right? Because right now
but they're with Kyriannin, so it's like they're helping hold Kyrian.
Yeah, that's the thing that is happening for sure. So,
and that's good.
Good news. That's good.
That's good. So we get a lot of description.
Yeah.
And these Tairens are some of the young lords from Tyr.
Yes. The ones who were gambling with Matt.
Yeah. When the card thing happened.
That's what it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they definitely recognize Rand.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, oh shit, did they take you prisoner too?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah.
And Rand's like, no.
And I mean, I understand it because, like, in all fairness, they can't tell Aiel apart. So the Aiel that took, or that are trying to take Kyrian kind of look the same as these Aiel. So it's like, oh, you're here, so all Aiel are bad.
Right.
I get it.
Okay,
like, it makes
so
sense.
I did recognize the name Estian.
Yeah, he's the son of Torian, and he's the rich one.
Okay. And then there's Edorian.
Yeah.
Which... Okay, then I had to start writing stuff down.
Okay.
Like, literally taking just jot notes, because the town also starts with an E and sounds like Edorian.
Yeah.
What's the town that they're in?
Aenrod?
Right. So,
it's
Ianrod.
Ianrod.
And then there was a Nyla, and then
true.
There's so there's a lot of just random weird E names.
Yes.
That I had to keep track of here.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets worse.
I believe you, but this is... I'm just...
Okay.
Compared to, like, how I was, season 1.
Yeah. Now you're in the thick of it, and you're like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He warms you up to it, and then he's like, in book 5,
and then he's like, boom.
Here you go.
Here's a bunch more names.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Estian and Edorian, and they are the Tairens.
Yes.
And I said they're the ones that Matt gambled with for sure. So I did remember that.
Good. Okay.
And Rand calls for the Kyriannin lords to be brought forward.
Yes.
And they're like, who are these guys? And Estienne asks if Rand sent the Aiel against the Kyrian. Because he's just trying to figure out what the shit is happening.
Yeah, because Rand's like, no, I'm the Karakar and I'm the main guy.
Yeah, and they
I'm
were
the
like,
leader.
okay, we're so confused because
why are you attacking
they
Kyrian?
said they were taking us to the Dawn guy.
Yeah.
And then Rand's like, I am the Dawn guy. And they're like, okay, well, there's another asshole who's calling himself the Dawn guy.
Exactly.
And he's an asshole. So we're confused.
Everyone's confused except for us. We know what's going on.
We know.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I am also confused. So, not about this. I think
my
okay.
thing is I just pretend not to be confused.
And then you're just not?
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is where we learn that the Shido have attacked Kyrian City.
Yes, that's important.
They've got there.
Yeah.
They're there. They're attacking the walls.
And it's already been at least 3 days.
The fore gate went up in flames.
Yeah.
We get that. And as of 3 days ago, it was still holding.
Yeah. So a big thing about that is we can assume that the Terrans were probably or are probably helping Kyrian because Kyrian is under civil war. So they probably would have fallen if they didn't have some Terran help.
Yes.
I can assume that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Rand notes that these two Kyriannin guys look like they haven't eaten in a while.
Yeah.
Too. So like,
I mean, that makes sense.
and then instead of like feeding them, he just like literally turns them around and is like, run back
You
that way
gotta
as
go.
fast as you can.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
Get some jerky for the road. Right?
I get it. Yeah. Okay. So Rand explains what's going on over here. And he talks about how the Shido are his enemy and he means to save Kyrian.
Yes, that's good.
That's good. And then we get an introduction to these Kyriannin lords.
Yep. So we got Marison
Yep.
and Derricane.
Okay.
We haven't met them before, really. Like, we could look back and see if they're the houses, but these are, like, young guys. Young.
I did look at the houses, and I don't know them.
So the thing is, like, these are the young lords from Tyr are, like, the sons of the rich daddies in
Yes.
Tyr. So it's the same deal, probably, with these Kyrian lords,
Fair.
because they're about of an age with the Terran guys.
Fair.
So.
Okay. So then we get a bit of a summary to catch us up to speed from Estienne and Adoran, because these two came out to find help.
Yeah.
And there were more to begin with, but they died.
Yeah, the one who died, Baron, was also one of the guys who was gambling with
Okay.
Matt. Yeah.
Okay. And then that's when Estienne's like, is there any Brandy in this town? Because, like, I saw that guy die.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
And they basically left the town because they're like, it's better that we, get stabbed than...
Trying to find help than just, like, because
getting
they're
taken
going to come
prisoner.
out over the
Yeah.
wall and they're going to take us alive.
Yeah.
And I've seen and heard
Right.
what Couladin is doing to people, and it's torturing
Torturing
them.
and murdering peasants for fun.
Like, that's a bad guy.
Yeah. I also gotta say, there's a bit of a Game of Thrones reference here because he does
Yes.
the thing where...
Yes, I was going to say that.
they let the peasants go and try and run back to the city gates or whatever and then shoot them down.
Oh, yeah, that's like the brother.
Yeah, Rickon?
Yeah.
Rickon.
Oh, spoilers.
If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, I don't know what you're doing here. Okay. Everyone dies in Game of Thrones. They all die.
Literally, you can just
So-
assume that at some point they're all dead.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the whole thing. And it's just like makes me hate the Shido even more. Like, you're the worst.
I know. They really are. Like,
Yeah.
right from the beginning. There is no there's nothing. If anything, they're just like...
Oh, redemption
doing so bad.
arc. Okay.
Nothing.
Rehabilitate.
Well, because at first, I remember I called him Complainer Couladin.
Yes.
Because that's all he really was. He had no power.
Yeah.
He was a complainer. And then he just, like, saw this opportunity and seized it. And now he's, like, a freaking asshole.
Now he's got some power.
He's the worst.
He is the
He's
worst.
a terrible, terrible person.
Well, let's just like say to the wise ones, good job, because they were like, you're never going to be clan chief because you're a dick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they were right about that.
They were right.
This is why he's not allowed to be clan chief.
I know, but then look at what's happened here.
Turns out you can just like
Pretend.
team up with a Forsaken or whatever.
Right.
It happens.
I guess Asmodean never really talked to Rand about the whole teaming up with Couladin situation. Like, that's a weird one too, right?
Well,
All right.
we're not sure how much Rand actually knows about that situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we got to
there
see
was
some
definitely
overhead
no
perspective.
rain washing off the
Yeah.
magic markers.
Didn't happen.
You know what it is? Super indelible, never come off until you're dead, and maybe even later coloring markers.
Like the tattoo kind.
No, like the Robert Munch book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
That's my favorite one.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, we get a time frame. Are we on that part?
About how optimistically they think that Kyrian can hold for 10 to 12 days.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's like,
No.
no.
Like 7, 8.
If you could see me, I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No. But, luckily, the Aiel can make it there in, hopefully, 7 days.
7 to 8 days. And they're like, yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
Oh, no fuck way. They don't even have a horse.
Yeah.
How are they going to get there? They don't even have horses.
Gonna run.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know that.
I know that.
They don't know that.
They don't know it yet.
But they'll make a wager on it.
Here we go. I like it.
Hey.
I gotta say, this chapter has one of the funniest scenes in the book. Like, I laugh so hard at it.
You think this is funny?
This is just my type of humor. I love it.
Oh.
This is great.
Where they're like, I'll make you a wager. That part?
Yeah, we'll get to it. Okay.
Okay.
Let's get there.
Okay. So, yeah, this is where we kind of learn that Couladin has been telling all of them to surrender to he who comes with the dawn. And I don't know, does Couladin think the Wetlanders know what that is?
No, he's just using his title.
He's just using his title?
Probably.
Okay.
He's saying surrender to the big battle chief
To me.
on the other side. Like,
Yeah, to me. And then he's also been torturing and murdering peasants for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, bad. So, realistically, they think that Kyrian will last for probably another 7 to 8 days. And then they talk. They're going to run there. And then Rand is like, okay.
Yeah.
You two Kyriannin lords, turn your tails around, head straight back as fast as you can, and die before you tell Couladin what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good plan. Hold on. I gotta say one thing about, like, warfare.
Okay.
So, we get that they think Kyrian can hold out 7 or 8 days. And when you think about the Aiel as, like, a warriors, as, like, people, they can just crush basically anybody who attacks them.
Fair.
But Kyrian's got the advantage of walls.
It does.
That's why.
It's a fortress.
That's why they can hold out for probably about 7 or 8 days, because they've got walls to hide behind.
Cool. Okay.
And the Aiel don't have, like, siege equipment. So
No.
they don't have, like, trebuchets or catapults or, like, siege towers.
Yeah, they got...
Like, they can fashion ladders, maybe.
Like,
but they
maybe,
don't,
yeah.
They don't have, like, siege equipment to, like, break down walls or anything.
Yeah, that's true. But they also don't really know how to manipulate, like, trees.
Yeah.
They don't have trees.
Exactly. So it's like they have a bit of a learning curve. So that's why, like, 7, 8 days, hopefully they can hold.
Okay. Fair.
That's, like, cliff notes of what's going on.
Okay. Do you want to know my thought process as I was reading this?
Yeah.
So, I've been on the whole Rand just needs to gateway over to Couladin.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe this whole time he hasn't been able to do that because in order to do a gateway thing, you have to know where you're going.
No.
You have to know where you are?
Well, okay,
No,
for
no,
traveling, you have to know where you are.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm saying gateway. I mean skimming.
Gotcha, okay.
So to do the thing Rand knows how to do,
Yeah.
he has to know where he's going. He has to know his destination.
Yeah.
And he hasn't 100% known where Couladin is.
Yes.
But as I was reading this, I was like, oh.
Boom, figured it out.
Now Rand knows Couladin is outside of Kyrian.
Now you're learning the magic system, and now you're
yes,
like, okay.
Now we can get it done, get there before. And then he's like talking to them and sending the Aiel. And I was like, oh.
Well, we also have the issue of we don't know how can he transport that many people.
Oh, he can't transport that many people.
Yeah.
He just needs to go there himself.
That's dangerous.
I've been saying it.
That's still dangerous.
He can go sneaky sneaks.
He can get shot down by, you don't just go off on your own. This is why you're not allowed to go off on your own.
He can probably go with someone, like one person he can probably take.
Ruark?
Moraine.
Lan. Both. They can take 2 people.
Take Moraine so that she can just, balefire his face.
Just, stand real close
Even
on
though
that.
Moraine's don't balefire anyone. That's what
just, a couple times. Just, 5 or 6 times.
Just a little.
5 or 6 people need
Just
to be
what Rand
balefired.
thinks. Little bit of balefire.
Yeah.
You don't even need balefire against Couladin.
That's true. He's just a dude.
You, literally just need a sword.
Get more into, inventive here.
Yeah.
Blast a hole in his head with, some air.
Oh.
Fireball.
Just, wrap him up in some air and hold him there
Pokey.
for a while and be like, hey, Shidos, listen to me, or you're all gonna just sit up on this wall.
I like it. There we go.
Yeah, we don't even have to murder him. He can just sit there and be an example.
I think you need to murder him.
No, put him up in a cloth bag, Shan style.
Okay, now we're getting inventive.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. I think we need
Before people start seeing your true colors.
Shoot. Okay. So then we get to the wager, which is the chapter title.
The wager. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, I'll wager you. Oh, Edorian.
Yeah.
Wagers Rand.
Yes.
Not Ragers Wand.
That'd be... Okay.
Okay, 1,000 gold crowns that he can really get there with the Aiel in 7 days.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, I haven't even seen that much money.
I don't even have 100 in silver.
And as he's saying that, Sulin is like, yes, he has that. And he'll take that wager, you dumb Tairen, because of course we can.
And then times it is 10,000. 10,000 gold.
10,000.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, let's do it. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't understand what's happening.
Well, it's just like, he doesn't believe that they can come. And it's
I know, but then wagering, and he's like, this guy's as bad as Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Rand has never seen like more than a gold in his entire friggin' life, and you don't gamble away money because he got brought up by Tam, who 100% is like
that's
tight with the
fair.
purse strings here.
Because then we have Matt, who's just like
exactly
50 gold.
So it's just it's a hilarious sequence because like in Rand's brain, he's still a poor like farmer shepherd boy with no money.
I've never even seen that much, and it's like literally on your first week venturing out, you were in like some treasure trove in Shale Ghul, and I'm sure you saw that much gold.
Maybe that was all haunted, spooky gold.
Yeah,
though.
but it's still
doesn't count.
He has seen it.
Yeah, but like maybe not 10th. Like I don't know, 10th. Yeah, it's hard.
No, it
it's
was
hard to
1,000.
say.
Anyway,
okay.
So Rand waits until they're all out of earshot. You know, Adorian and the Kyrians are all riding off.
Yeah,
and Rand is like, "What are you doing? I have no money.
Look at these pockets. They're empty.
They're empty pockets."
See, it's so funny.
Well, the maidens give him a look, and they're like, well, since, you know, the Aiel get 1/5 of all the treasure in Tyr, and you were the chief and battle leader, and let me tell you, when I listened to the audiobooks, I heard again.
Battle Eater.
Battle Eater. I heard it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's the battle eater? Oh, and I knew this time.
Yeah, not that. Battle
Anyway, he's
leader.
the battle leader. So he gets 1/10 of the 5th.
Yes.
Now, someone who's like good at math, tell me how much he actually gets.
Shit ton, because it's all the treasures in Tyr.
Well, and he's the king of Tyr.
He's also the king, so he gets the rest of it.
Gets
it's like
all of it. It's his.
Tyr has like its own, you know, money chest.
Yeah, I just find it interesting.
Coffers, yeah.
I find it interesting that they took what they could carry.
Yeah.
But they still know there's some left there for them.
Oh, there's a lot left. They're
And
like, we couldn't carry all that.
Yeah, but I thought they were just like taking what they could and that's it.
Yeah.
And like maybe it would have been if they never crossed the Dragon Wall again. But now that they're like over here, they're like, oh, we're going to go get what's owed to us.
We're going to go get the rest of it.
It's ours and yours.
Plus, we're going to do the same thing to Kyrian, so like that's yours too. And also, do you really think that after Rand, you know, assuming everything goes well and he saves Kyrian or whatever's going to happen, because they're like, you get part of that too?
Well,
Rand's going to get to like have Kyrian too.
Yeah, probably.
He's the dragon.
Yeah, fair.
Like,
oh, maybe.
What's the deal with this city's gold?
Okay. All right.
It's Rand's.
It's Rand's. Maybe. Okay. So, well, I don't think that Kyrian has much gold.
Well,
that's
you know,
the issue.
what they can find.
I know. I really don't think that they have very much, though.
No, it's just this scene's so funny to me too because when Rand is doing his bit where he's like, "I got no money,"
he's like, "I'll never understand all these Aiel rules."
The funny line is the maidens exchange glances as if he were demented.
Oh,
it's like. Yeah, I mean the writing's a little bit outdated, but it's like it's so funny because just the look they give him is like, "What are you talking about, man?
You're a doorknob.
You're the leader."
Yeah, duh. Yeah. And he's like, "I never thought to ask Avienda if I'm owed anything.
Do I get an allowance?"
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so now while all the maidens are explaining this confusing stuff, Rand starts thinking about girls because Elaine would tell him about this and she would know what to do.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even know where she is because Egwene doesn't even tell him very much. And Avienda never told him about the 5th.
Which he might have. He doesn't listen very well.
But like she only really tells him what he like outwardly is like, I don't get it. And she's like, it's like this, idiot.
Yeah.
And so if he never mentioned it, then she's also never going to mention it.
She's a bad teacher. He's a bad student.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of those. Okay, so then he also thinks that Min is going to run away the next time she sees me, and I don't even know why I keep thinking about Min.
Who knows?
Because women
are confusing.
So complex. Now, Estienne gets escorted by Ruark and Mangin.
Yeah, that's a new Aiel we got introduced to.
Mangin. Sure.
You got to remember these names.
Yeah, so they don't escort him. They basically carry him.
Because remember, Kyriannin are short.
Yeah.
And so are Tairen, like these Tairen lords, like they're small guys.
Yeah, because this guy's not Kyriannin.
Yeah, he's Tairen, but it's like they're all short, and the Aiel are gigantic.
Comparatively, I suppose.
So
okay, so they basically carry him off so that they can question him on the Shido defenses.
Yeah.
And Rand's like, remember, he's our ally.
He's a good guy. He's on our side.
Just ask. Just ask.
Yeah.
Don't torture.
It's like classic, like physical comedy. It's great.
Yeah. So now to end this chapter, Rand names the Thunderwalker Society to go scout the Shido.
Yes.
And he specifically, keeping his eyes off the maidens, names the Thunderwalkers.
Not looking at Sulin, because Sulin's standing there being like,
not a fan of that.
Yeah.
But Rand won't send them because he knows some of them won't return.
Yes. So this is the whole thing still.
Protecting the women thing.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, like, if we're not thinking about it that way, that Rand is clearly thinking about it.
Yeah.
Those are, like, his bodyguards and his clan.
Okay.
Why would he want them to all... Unless it's, like, honor to go fight, because I don't get Aiel shit. But,
that's for sure, like, a thing.
And so if they stand around and just be bodyguards forever, I don't know. I guess for them that's honorable, but...
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Eventually, they're gonna have to fight.
Well, here's the thing: like Sulin doesn't look happy about this situation, so there's clearly something.
What can she do?
Yeah,
what can she do?
That's a good question.
Probably not much.
Okay.
Be like, Rand, you're sexist.
I want to go.
Okay, so now let's get into
the reason why we're all here.
The reason why we're all here. It's chapter 31. The Far Snows.
Yeah. Okay.
And the chapter symbol is the shield and spears of the Aiel.
Yes.
Okay. Now.
Set the scene. We
enter Rand perspective. He's leaving. He's going to bed. We get a little bit of information about this town that they're in.
Yeah.
It hasn't fallen to the Shido?
Yeah,
so what didn't fall to the Shido?
Yeah, there's nobody here. So we actually get some important stuff about Kyrian sort of here.
A little bit of Kyrian world building since the Civil War.
The town didn't fall to the Shido because the town already fell because all the houses are fighting about who's going to sit on the Sun Throne.
Right.
And that's the history.
That's it. That's
so
what's
there's no
going
one here to fall to the Shido.
Okay. So Rand chose a house that has a roof and most of its windows.
I love this.
And
this is a power move.
Immediately, when he gets in, goes, no maidens can enter here. This isn't the roof of the maidens.
Yeah, this is the roof of the Winespring Brothers.
I was like, what the fuck
I
is
have
that?
announced that. That's what this is now.
And no one can enter unless they've drank from the Winespring Inn
just the
Winespring
Field. Just the Winespring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't have a drink at the Winespring Inn.
No, drunk from the literal the Winespring in Emmons Field.
My brain goes to the inn.
Well, I mean, that's why it's named that, but
that's what we know more often than the actual creek or spring, I suppose.
Yeah.
The Winespring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a little lake.
Okay.
Little thing.
Anyway,
little ditty.
So that's funny. So they totally know what he's doing, but they just like stand guard outside.
And apparently it worked. That's the funny thing.
It's basically for one night, so they're like not gonna fight him.
Yeah.
Like
it's like this is not a long-term
and like
solution.
It clearly doesn't have the effect that he wants it to because number one, Moraine still gets in and probably hasn't drank from the Winespring, but like maybe we don't know
what she was doing
when she was there, but like. It's of the Winespring brothers.
Yeah.
And, like, Moraine's still just, like, tromping in there. And Avienda's in there.
Yes.
So...
rules don't apply if you don't want them to.
Just don't... Especially if he's not there.
It doesn't matter.
Just do whatever the hell I want. Like, go take a bath somewhere else. Yeah. What's happening?
This is so funny.
I never remember you to see me... Like, what...
This is good, though. Like, okay, this is good.
I know, it's so good. Okay, we're getting way too... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also, Guy Shine... can just like are in there too,
they're always allowed to go anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Even though Rand doesn't want them to be.
Yes.
He tried to order them not to serve, and they were like, does not compute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Rand opens his door to his bedchamber.
Yes. Yes, he
and
does.
then freezes.
Oh, okay.
Because Avienda is inside in front of the washstand with a cloth and a bar of soap.
Yeah.
And she's
naked.
She's
naked.
Naked. And then she's like, she starts explaining about how she couldn't make a sweat tent, and so she's gonna try your type of bathing because water's not so scarce here, and let's see what this is all about.
Okay. Do you want to explain or talk
Sure,
about the theory here?
If you want, sure.
So, but this is the thing. So it's like, why was Aviendha bathing in his...
Well, she sleeps there, right?
Well, she does.
Yeah.
But like, she could have done a lot of different things besides this situation. But kind of like my own personal headcanon, I got nothing to support it except for like some common sense here.
Okay.
But Aviendha hasn't ever used like, you know, a bar of soap and a bath or water,
yeah.
nothing like this. And it might be a little bit shaming to be doing this in front of other Aiel.
Fair.
Because it's like totally not your culture. So she's doing it like secretly in Rand's room where no
and
one's ever going to see.
She's probably seen Egwene do it.
Yeah.
Because Egwene, even in the Waste, where you're not supposed to use water this,
yeah.
she was still just like doing it anyway.
Yeah.
So it's likely Aviendha's like seen it. And she's obviously seen Rand do it.
Yeah. So maybe she's like kind of secretly on the DL, like doing this in Rand's bedchamber to be like not letting anybody else know what she's doing.
She's like, oh my god, I thought you were still at the bridge.
Yeah. And she's like, I got lots of time to do this before he gets back because you're like looking at the water. So it kind of like that does make sense to me because then she thinks to herself, like, I didn't arrange for you to see me like this.
She doesn't think that to herself. She yells it in his face.
Yeah.
She's
she
like,
yells that.
I didn't arrange this. Because, like, it could look like she arranged this.
And with Aiel customs of, like, nudity isn't viewed in the same light. Like, but showing yourself like that to someone intentionally could be like a, hey, are you interested situation?
Yeah.
So,
and
like...
if you say no, oh, man, does that ever...
Yeah. So like it all kind of makes sense.
It's a ego hit if you like get all naked and you're like, "Are you into this?" And someone's like, "No."
It's called The Naked Man. It works 33% of the time.
Oh my god, the worst. Okay.
It's a bad How
I Met Your Mother. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that in a long time.
Yeah. There's a reason it also had a bad ending.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So she's like, I must get away from you as far as I can. I must.
Yeah, and we've seen that before too.
Where she takes off?
No. Like the whole, like, I have to get away, and then, like, poof, you get away by doing something magical.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of like, in a sense, the prologue of even The Eye of the World.
Oh, okay.
Right? LTG comes back and he's like,
I gotta get away. Sure.
Not the exact same, but it's like the mentality of, like, doing something on the need impulse of, like,
okay.
Yeah.
So then... Aviendha creates a gateway and it's like snowy and cold, like blowing in. So this is clearly not and she has no idea where she's going.
This is capital T traveling.
So she's going to travel.
Capital T traveling.
Right.
You open a gateway, you go through directly.
Yeah. Okay. So let me tell you, I have been trained for 5.5 books.
Okay.
To look for suspicious things happening.
Interesting. Okay, go.
So my red flags go crazy up. Like, go up. I do not believe this is Aviendha. Like, when I'm first reading this, like, I knew you were going to be confused, and I couldn't wait to, like, tell you, especially when I finished it.
It's Lanfear.
Like, I literally didn't know if it was Lanfear or a different Forsaken or something, because I'll get into it when it, like, was really solidified for me that this is not Aviendha. Like, because it goes on and on and on from my thought process like this. Okay. So first of all, this gateway situation, like, I keep on forgetting that Aviendha can channel, number one, because we don't talk about it very often. Yeah. And so that was startling for me.
And she's strong.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But my initial reaction was, what's happening here?
But, like, why? Why didn't you buy that she was creating a...
And, like, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Right from this point, it was kind of like, oh, that's crazy.
Okay.
It was like, oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that. That's very crazy. How did she do that? That's like basically where my mind was right now.
Okay.
And then let's get into a little bit more of what happens, and I'll tell you my thought process while reading.
Okay. I was going to say, should I ask where you've landed at the end of this chapter?
Well, obviously it's Aviendha.
Okay.
Obviously
all right.
It's Aviendha. I know.
Okay.
At least now you're...
We've also...
It's Lanfear. She just like got into bed with Rand by pretending to be Aviendha. No. It's not.
Well,
but
the whole thing too, we've seen other characters spontaneously create weaves.
I know that. That's why
that's
this
like a regular thing.
Right off the bat, I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah. Okay.
Whoa! And then we keep going. So she darts through naked into the snowstorm.
Yes.
And Rand is like, "What are you doing, moron?
This is bad.
This is
terrible.
Snow
is cold.
Snow is terribly cold. You're gonna die running through the snow. You don't even
fair,
know where you're going."
She wouldn't know that.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
That's why Rand's like, "Hey,
this
I have
is
to
bad.
chase you."
Yeah.
So he stops the gateway from closing.
Yep.
And this is one of those instinctual things that he doesn't know how he did it.
He's done it before.
And he ties off like the weave so it like holds open.
Yep.
And he grabs blankets and rugs and clothes and chases after her.
Yeah.
So Rand is struggling to chase after Avienda on the other side of wherever they are.
Yeah.
And it's full-blown winter storm, blizzard, whiteout conditions.
Yep.
And he thinks of doing a few things with the power to help him, but then ultimately rules them out because he just is too unsure of what would happen if he tries to stop the weather or whatever.
It's a huge thing too.
Right. So he chases after her, calling her, and she just keeps running faster away, and he loses sight of her kind of. And then this is where my radar goes up.
Okay.
Like so up. Something fishy's going on because this actually reminds me of when Lanfear disguises herself as Else, or Elsie, however someone wants to pronounce that.
Sure.
Else Grinwell to convince the girls of something and then takes off.
Runs away.
And Egwene chases after her.
Right.
Can't find her.
Yeah.
And is like, "What? Where are you? Where are you? Come back here." And she can't find her. So like that's where my mind went. And it's like, we're in this crazy dangerous place. Rand can feel how cold it is here. He can feel like on the outside of his void that like he's also might die here
is cold, yes.
because he's gonna get lost, and he can barely find her, and he can only see brief movements of like where maybe she was. And I was like, this is so crazy dangerous for Rand.
That's a great like distraction.
This seems like a crazy trap.
Yeah.
This seems like a legitimately good trap.
I like that. That's good.
Because a Forsaken would know how to just like create a new gateway and leave and trap Rand here.
And just see if he can like get out of it.
Yeah.
Just like see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like maybe he's trapped there and we get rid of him. Especially the ones who want him gone. Like I don't know which one. Don't ask me. But like
I get it. There's enough that like one of them could do this.
And he goes on and on, pages and pages of him like searching through this snow and trying to get her, and especially when he's going through. So he melts the snow in his path.
Yep.
That's what's happening. He's got his bundle of like blankets. I can just imagine. Looks ridiculous. And then suddenly Avienda vanishes as if she fell into a hole.
Yes.
And that was my like, oh my God, it's not actually her. This was a trap. And Rand is going to get stuck here, and now what's going to happen? Like, that's where I thought the story was going.
And he's dead, and it's over.
Well, and I was actually really kind of, while I was in the middle of it, I was excited to get this sort of crazy plot twist.
Like Rand's in trouble?
The middle of the story, because the crazy plot twists always happen right at the end. And I want there to be something unpredictable and exciting, and obviously I didn't think Rand would die here.
Okay.
But I thought this was going to be some crazy plot twist.
Yeah. And it was just a different one.
And like medium. It's a medium plot twist. I've been waiting for them to do it since she's been sleeping in his room, to be honest with you. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't happened already.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But yeah, so she disappears. And he's like, "Oh no, she must have fallen in the ice." And I'm like, "No, Rand, it's a trap. Don't do it. Turn back." Like, that's literally where my mind was. Anyway,
I get it.
Does that surprise you that I was thinking that way?
That's a crazy just train of thought you took me down.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But also, like, in my brain, it's like, we're Canadian. We've been in whiteout blizzards.
Yeah.
People fall through ice and die. Like...
Oh, totally.
Like, that's
completely. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
So in my brain, it's just like, yeah, this is terrible.
But the way we're reading these books, I'm so trained to look for every single little thing.
Yeah, and be like, this is the part. This is where it's going to happen.
And I was like, oh my God, he's going to be trapped here. This is the trap. Don't do it. It's a trap. But no.
Not a trap.
It's, no.
Different kind of trap.
I mean, by accident. Okay. So... he reaches the spot where he saw her go.
Right, because she fell through the ice.
And at some point, I'm going, wait, hold on here. Is this actually Avienda fell through the ice?
Yeah.
And so he puts the blankets down, and he for sure thinks she's fallen through some thin ice, and it's super cold, so he's super worried, and he can't, like, melt the whole area of snow, so... Like, that's the
because
whole
it's like
thing.
a river. So.
Yeah, so he starts crawling out on the ice.
Yeah.
Which, if you've never been around ice in the winter before, or thin ice,
Yep.
that's what they teach you to do.
Yeah.
You spread your body weight out.
out.
You actually are supposed to, like, army crawl or, like, roll.
Yeah.
To spread your body weight out.
And, like, first thing, you don't even be on the ice in the first place.
That's the other thing.
Okay.
But anyway, so he crawls out on the ice. He's hurt. The other thing you can do, here's a tip if you ever fall in ice, is if you're wearing mittens, then you get them wet, and then you stick them to the top of the ice, and you can, like, pull yourself out.
Yeah, and, like, medium works.
That's, like, one of the tips I remember.
It's like one of the things you
from,
can maybe
like,
do that might help.
grade 6,
Yeah.
like a video that they showed us in school
Yeah.
one time about if you ever fall in the ice.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So
a lot of training about not falling through your ice.
Right, so he crawls out on the ice, he reaches the place in the ice where she fell through, and he reaches into the water and feels around, and she's just there. He can, like, feel her frozen hair in the water and grabs it.
Yeah.
And then starts pulling her out, but he's also, like, frozen.
Freezing. He's not naked, though.
He's not naked, but he's freezing, and he has to, like, convince his fingers to close.
Yes.
Like, they're so cold.
I love his negative reinforcement of himself.
You stupid
I
idiot.
love it,
You
'cause he's
never
like,
do anything
You've
well.
had it so easy so far. People bowing and scraping and doing everything for you. You got to get your head out of your butt and pull her out of the ice.
Yeah.
He goes on like this whole flaming pig skin goat thing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's
Actually,
just like,
find it. It's really funny.
okay. He
You
says,
fatherless...
Yeah.
He's, like, berating himself.
"You've had it easy for too long. Lords kneeling and guys shine, running to fetch your wine and Moraine doing as she's told. Time to do something for yourself if you still can. Move, you flaming fatherless son of a spavine goat. Keep moving."
Oh, my God. You fatherless. Like, that's... He's just, like, berating himself.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, so he gets her. He pulls her out by her hair, which is, like, crazy to me.
Better than dead.
And he's like, "Oh, I know she's getting scraped on the ice, but... better than dead, so..."
Yeah, this is best case scenario.
Right, okay. And now, I bet everybody knows what I'm going to say here for my Harry Potter reference.
Okay, I still don't know.
I know you don't, which is crazy. So, in the 7th book, they're out searching for Horcruxes.
Okay.
They're camping in the forest.
Yeah.
Ron has left. He's been gone for a while.
Right.
Harry's keeping guard, follows a silver doe out into the forest,
Okay.
finds a frozen lake,
Yeah.
and there's the Sword of Gryffindor at the bottom of the frozen lake.
Okay.
So he has to get in to the frozen water
Interesting. Okay.
and get it, but he's an idiot, and he had another Horcrux around his neck, which was trying to get away. It's a whole thing. Anyways, he's gonna drown in the frozen water, and Ron shows up, saves him out of the frozen water.
Oh, and he drags him out of the water.
That's right.
Amazing.
There's my
Okay.
Harry Potter reference for you.
Okay, so Rand is Ron and Avienda is Harry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of them has red hair.
I love it. It works. That's so funny.
You didn't remember that at all?
I don't
Do you
even know.
remember it now that I'm saying it?
Barely. I feel like I tuned out because that was like that whole big long scene where there was like hours and hours of just like camping in a forest.
Whether
that
we
part of
do a
it?
podcast or not, at the end of this, I think we should read the Harry Potter books together.
Maybe.
I think that that's something we actually should do. I would love that.
Okay.
I would like to reread them.
We have to watch The Lord of the Rings first.
Sure, that's something we can do.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers to pulling people out of
The
lakes.
ice, yeah.
Oh. That's whiskey.
My whole mouth just filled up with saliva.
Okay, back to recording. Go, go, go.
Okay, we're still recording. This is still recording.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Rand pulls Avienda out of the water, pulls her limp body out, back to the bank, and he starts piling everything on top of her. And right now her eyes are closed, and she's not moving, and her heartbeat is super faint. And so he knows he can't channel heat directly into her.
Yeah, not like you can do it into the ground. Like you could pump heat into the ground.
Right, and he melted a bunch of snow that way.
But if you do it to a person,
and that's where they're lying right now, because
they
I
could
did miss
die.
that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Kill her.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like immediately.
Yeah, and then he's also thinks about how the gateway is about a mile or two away.
Yeah.
but he can feel that it's still open.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like he blocked it open.
Well,
so.
it doesn't make sense. To me, it's interesting that even though it's a mile or two away, he can still feel it.
Okay, that's fair.
It's good to know that physical distance...
You can feel things like that.
You can feel things like that.
Cool.
That's just like another tidbit. So, Rand decides they need shelter immediately.
Yeah.
So, instinctually, he starts channeling and he's basically making an igloo. Starts the snow stacking on top of each other.
Yeah.
Makes 4 walls and a little doorway, and then shovels snow into the doorway. He carries Aviendha inside and then uses the trick Asmodean taught him to make the air warm.
Yes.
And then he lights little fires
Like
around.
we know from the fun fact, the inside will melt a little bit, but then it'll refreeze and solidify. So there we go.
There we go. So
it all ties together.
There it is, little igloo. And now Aviendha is just absolutely frozen. And so Rand does the only thing he can think right now. So he strips off all his clothes.
Yes, he does.
And he's going to use his body to heat and warm her up.
Yeah, and again, this actually makes sense because especially if your clothes are wet, like get the wet clothes off of both of you.
Yes.
And
she wasn't wearing clothes.
Yeah, but that, like,
you're saying in general.
In a
situation.
Yeah, it's like get the wet clothes off. That doesn't help anything.
Sure.
And like body heat is a thing that can help warm.
Yeah. So then he starts thinking about how their bodies are touching.
Don't make it weird, Rand.
Like, oh my God! Don't think about it. Don't think about it.
Don't make it weird.
And then he starts thinking about Elaine.
Yeah.
And then he starts thinking about Min.
Yeah.
And then
it's
he's
like, oh my God,
don't think about
don't
girls.
Think about
don't think about kissing. Don't.
Baseball. My old grandma.
Yeah. His sandwich. Oh my God. Yeah, but it's funny because then he switches to thinking about Min, and then he's like, I could never think of Min that way.
Yeah,
well,
except for
a
those
few dreams don't count. And then he's like, keep your mind out of the pigsty, Rand.
Come on, Rand. Oh, this is terrible.
And so then Rand starts talking about Kyriannin.
Yeah.
This is his grandma. This is his baseball.
This is literally what's happening.
He's talking about Kyriannin, ending the war and famine, and then eventually how he's like doomed to die at Shale Ghul, and he vainly thinks about how he wants to survive that somehow.
And okay, technically, we haven't actually heard anything about him needing to die.
That he has to die. No.
It's the whole blood on the rocks of Shale Ghul.
That obviously if he's going to face the Dark One, like he's not living.
Which is like fair, so.
That is definitely fair.
Yeah.
Go into that expecting to die, and if you don't, then you're surprised.
Cool, but like don't go into it with the expectation. You gotta leave it all in the field, guys.
Yeah.
I get where he's coming from here.
Okay. So I just wanted to say, before we move on though, that when Rand pulls Aviendha, like her body, out of the water, and he's like, oh no, she's dying, whatever. That's when I went, okay, it's not a trap.
This is an elaborate Lanfear trick.
Yeah.
Pretending to be dead in the lake.
Yeah, no. And I mean, like, realistically, I'm not going to put it past Lanfear to, like, get to sleep with Rand. But, like...
Lady in distress?
I don't think that she would ever... Like, she's way too egotistical to pretend to be someone else while she sleeps with them.
Yeah,
like, there's no way. So, anyway, that's when, for me, it was... Like, okay. I can admit that I'm wrong, but...
Yeah, so where are they?
So Rand starts thinking about where they must be since it's snowing this time of year.
Yeah, and there were a few hints.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this.
So Rand, obviously using his farmer abilities, was inspecting the soil, and he noticed that the soil is sandy, and there's brown leaves he doesn't recognize, and low dead weeds that seem strange. So Rand doesn't know the plant life.
Yeah.
But, like, Rand has been in a very few, like, amount of places here, so...
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
And we know, like, northern side snows, and, like, southern...
Is cold.
Southern is warm.
That's what I meant. Southern is warm. They don't know cold.
Yeah, they don't even know what snow is.
Right. So, I don't know. But we also don't know about other places. We don't know about Shara.
Yeah, okay.
We don't know about Shan-Chen.
Okay.
We don't know about what's above the Blight.
North Pole.
Never
know.
They might be in Russia.
Hey, okay.
Never know.
Never know. You just gotta go with it, so.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think
we don't
matters.
even know if it's important. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we're not spending time here.
No, we're not.
Well, we're spending a couple hours, but you know.
Oh
hey.
yeah, sure.
Hey-o.
Let's talk about that later. Okay, so then Rand's thinking about how this was such a senseless flight, and then he thinks, no, it was worse than a senseless flight because she literally fled from him, and how she must really hate him to run away like this. And Rand says out loud that no matter what the wise ones say, he'll send her away, and she won't have to run from him again.
It's sad.
It is a little bit sad because...
But it's not hate.
But she hates how much she loves him.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, there's definitely some... there's definitely
hate.
Yeah.
She hates the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all... She doesn't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into it.
Okay. So now, Rand notices that Aviendha is warming up, and then he thinks to himself that he should wrap her in the blanket and move away.
Yeah, but no time for that.
But he doesn't do that. Before that can happen, she opens her eyes, and she sees it's him and doesn't pull away.
Hey-o. Okay, here we go. It's going to happen.
Yeah, right. Okay. So Rand tries to sort of slither away, but she grabs a handful of his hair and says, I promised my near sister to watch you. I ran from you as hard as I could to shield my honor. Like, she almost died.
Yes.
Like, she was, like, literally just going to die to avoid Rand.
Yep.
And...
it's the honorable thing to do.
And then she's like, you follow me here. The rings do not lie, and I can run no more. I will run no more.
Yeah, so we got to talk about this.
Yeah, and she pulls him into her for the kiss.
It happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
And wait, this is my favorite line.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was the end of rational thought.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's
giggity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay.
That's
so
so
let's
funny.
talk about
I love
this.
it so much.
Let's do this. Okay. So Elaine, implications here.
Okay. Well, first, let's talk about how I was right.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about the ways I was correct, because I like that.
Let me count the ways.
There's one.
There's one.
It's the rings thing, because she got back from Ruidian staring daggers at Rand.
Yes.
And was just like so angry. And I said from the beginning, she's angry because she saw Rand as part of her future, and she didn't like it.
Yes, you did say that.
Clearly true.
Points, congratulations. That's good.
But also, to be fair, Moiraine also saw herself sleeping with Rand and seeing it not go well. She saw her future a bunch of different times, right?
Yeah, that was different. That was a little different.
Clearly. No, I know that.
Yeah.
This is obviously like something that Aviendha knows that she can't run from.
It's like possibilities of what could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
In good ways or bad or whatever. And Moiraine did see herself sleeping with Rand. So, I mean, that might be a common denominator of the rings.
That's like the end of the book. I don't want to get there ahead of time, but you know.
Book series? Oh my god.
Okay.
You know, we've been talking about all these older men. Let's talk about older ladies.
Why can't that happen?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why not? Nah, that's weird.
Okay.
Well, it's weird. It's as weird as the men being older, too.
Did we talk about Elaine yet?
No.
Okay.
So that's the part where I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I said that Rand was going to sleep with Elaine first.
Right. Implications for Elaine and Aviendha's relationship? Any issues here?
I'm going to say no, because they're sister wives.
Okay.
Although I do kind of
So it's going to go
that...
smoothly? Like,
no,
it's just like,
no.
it's
no.
cool, it's cool.
No. I feel bad for Elaine because she was like, I'm worried about Rand being around all those maidens. He's totally going to sleep with one.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve was like, no way. He would. And Egwene's like, he wouldn't do that.
Shoot.
And
so that happens.
And then he does it.
Yeah.
So
are we talking like in the long run it'll be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
There's going to be some hard feelings first?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Okay.
I'm kind of disappointed. I did see this happening. I saw, like
the Elaine Aviendha?
No, the Rand Aviendha.
Obviously,
okay. I've been talking about that.
Yeah.
But even, like, I'm surprised they haven't done it sooner.
Okay.
So,
okay.
So I said that. But,
yeah.
I don't know. I really wanted the Aviendha Elaine thing to happen and Rand to be, like, the side, like, afterthought.
That can happen, too.
Maybe still.
There's lots of time left.
Still, actually, because Aviendha is still thinking about Elaine here. So maybe. Yeah. Because there's got to be a sister-wife situation.
Okay, so let's get to the next good bit.
Okay.
the most unrealistic thing that ever happened
I was
in the
gonna say,
entirety of the Wheel of Time.
I was going to say, let's talk about unrealistic expectations, Mr. Rand First-Timer.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just let me go ahead and read this for everybody.
Okay, sure.
Some considerable time later, 2 hours, maybe 3.
Yeah, flipping right.
Okay, but to be fair, the 3-hour timeline also includes the 2-hour and 45-minute nap. So,
did that also include the like warming up her body, like that part?
That too is like 2 hours of warming her body up to get her not dead.
Right.
This is gonna get worse before it gets better.
Then 3 minutes later.
3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm talking like 15 seconds. Like, what are we doing?
No, 3 minutes is too long.
3 minutes is optimistic. I'd like, come on, let's be real here.
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I do think we had to talk about that because right, Brad.
2 minutes in heaven is better than
1 minute in heaven. It's business time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay.
I went, yeah, okay, Rand. I even wrote that in my notes.
He better be a socks off type of guy. I was just saying that. So.
Oh well, we'll see.
Okay.
It's cold. Oh, like they're in winter
chilly.
here. Yeah. Okay. So Rand,
there's a lot of jokes we could make.
Oh, there's
but
so
we're not
many.
gonna do that.
Oh.
We're not gonna do those jokes.
No.
About, it being cold
You know,
and such.
it's a very romantic scene.
Yeah.
And like, let's not talk about all of the repercussions of hypothermia.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about all the medical side effects.
It's fine.
For both of them.
She's fine. Her hair is fine.
Her hair is no longer frozen.
It's good.
She's fine. She has, they both have all their fingers and toes and nose and ears.
Like, that's not what happens with hypothermia and frostbite.
No, it's not. There are so many very realistic things about this series.
This is not
one of them. This is not one of them.
She's losing fingers or toes or ears.
Oh, 100%. And so is he.
Yeah.
Realistically. So, yeah. Yeah, I didn't actually think about that part, but...
It's one of those things where it's like RJ was from, like, South Carolina, so...
Well, it also sounds like, we didn't really get to see Perrin. We don't have any confirmation about Matt, although it's clear he has, been fooling around.
Yeah.
And he wanted, with Rand, there to be, like, at least some romance. Like, the atmosphere. Like, this reminds me almost of, like, the log cabin with the fireplace.
Yeah.
Like, the kind of situation.
Yeah.
They're on these rugs, which are probably animal skin, and there's, like, little fires, and it's in an igloo, and it's all secluded. Like, it's not like, they're doing it in a tent with maidens outside who can probably hear what's going on. Yeah. Like, he made it, like, this was the scene for Rand. Like, attaboy.
I agree.
And so we just, like, throw logic out the window.
Yeah, just a little bit. But
so that
I'm just saying, you're not getting
out of this. And
Aviendha
can have their moment.
Yeah.
They have their moment.
Yeah. We have to leave it at that.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
So... Rand is laying on the rugs with his hands behind his head, probably.
Yep.
And Aviendha is walking around the igloo naked, examining the walls, and he's trying to explain snow.
Yes, as best
to someone who hasn't even ever seen rain.
Yeah.
So you can explain snow to somebody who's been like, oh, it's frozen rain, who understands rain, but she doesn't even understand water. Never mind.
Water falls from the sky.
Never mind frozen water.
Often, all the time.
Yeah, she's like, okay. So then Rand is like, well, I guess we have to get married now.
Yeah, this is the big elephant in the room. I love this so much.
And he's like, the wise ones can marry us as soon as we get back.
It's gotta happen.
Why not?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's like, he thinks to himself, well, I think I love her. Like, there's also Elaine and Min. And then he thinks, I'm as bad as Matt.
Yeah.
And, in the last chapter, the people who are gambling, he's like, they're as bad as Matt.
Yeah, he doesn't have Matt. Matt's not like the, ideal.
He's like the little scapegoat guy. It's like, he's the worst. No one wants to be like him. It's so bad. He's got a really fun life.
He does. It is a very fun life.
He has fun.
It's not like the conservative hometown values that you would expect. You know.
Anyway.
He's like the black sheep here.
Yeah,
so.
okay. But Aviendha goes, No. First off, who the heck do you think you are?
I love this because the
No
next like
man
4
can
pages,
ask me.
like here to the end of the chapter is just them being confused about each other's customs and trying to be like, we gotta get married, and her being like, no, we're not getting married, and being like, why?
And he'd be like, I think that we should, and she's like, no,
that's not how this works.
No. Yeah, so everyone is very confused. Marriage customs with the Aiel are confusing. Marriage customs in Emond's Field are confusing.
Yeah, they're both confusing.
Like waiting a year, asking for mother's permission.
Yeah.
Getting like beaten if you have sex before marriage.
Well, and I mean,
there's
okay.
all of that.
Okay, I don't want to defend very many things here, but like there is something to be said for like don't just go fool around when like birth control isn't reliable, etc., because then it's like
birth control isn't reliable. Does birth control exist?
That's the point, and that's why the whole like don't go just do an inhale off because you're gonna end up with a baby.
There's a lot of things you can do before it gets to baby making. You can have fun and roll around in a hayloft before it gets to baby making.
I agree. It doesn't sound like they were doing that. These two from the
Emond's Field. No, it really doesn't sound like that.
But that's the thing. It's like that's what they do.
They got their bottoms whooped.
They beat them and then they force them to get married. I'm not saying that's better. I'm just saying like
it's not.
I get that that's a thing that totally happened and still happens.
Okay. Depends on culture, I suppose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that stuff still happens today. Yeah. Not in
my favorite though here is how Rand tries to cover up his confusion by like not being rude.
Oh yeah, and he's just like it's very confusing.
Well, the customs are complicated, so I totally know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure exactly which part you're talking about.
Yeah.
And Aviendha doesn't get why if a woman wants the man and she's old enough to get married, she has to ask for permission at all.
Yeah. Which is like also fair.
But to be fair, Melaine, is that her name?
Maybe.
The one who married Bear? No, yeah. Bear's the woman. Bane? No, not Bane. Bale. Whatever. Bane.
Come on.
I almost had it. That was close though.
Yeah.
So she checked in with her fellow wise ones.
She did.
To get some form of permission. So for Aviendha to be like, why would anyone need permission? Like, that just shows maybe she's quite young and immature as well.
On a different level.
Because sometimes it is a little bit important to get some...
Yeah.
To get some blessings.
Yes.
From the people around you. Because if everybody around you is like, no, that's not a good idea.
There might be something to that.
There might be something to that.
Yeah. Like, sometimes, you're just surrounded by bad people. But, like, also, sometimes it's just like you're not seeing what you should be seeing.
That's it. That's the point.
Okay, you missed the most important part here.
I did?
You did. You don't even know what the most important part is.
Okay, tell me then.
Okay, so while they're being confused amongst each other of their customs, Aviendha says, do you understand what I'm saying? You look like that fish Moraine caught in the river.
Oh, Moraine caught a fish in the river. See, I told you she had this like...
It's not that old-timey fish that we saw at the beginning of like The Great Hunt or whatever.
Yeah? The Great Hunt.
I think it was The Great Hunt when they were stuck in the Dragon Reborn.
Dragon Reborn.
One of those with the fish, and she caught the fish, and it was like, oh, fish scene, and you're like, yeah, it's not important.
No, I didn't say it was not important. I just said I didn't care, and that Moraine totally used the power to just catch a fish in the river.
I stick by my theory that Moraine is just good at catching fish with her hands.
She is good at that.
Without the power.
No way.
Without the power. No power involved.
Yeah, right.
I want this to be just Moraine being like, fish guru.
Maybe if it was
fish
Swan.
Snatcher.
Maybe if it was Swan, 100%.
Who was Moraine best friends with?
You shouldn't teach her how to catch fish in the river.
You don't know what those girls did in the White Tower.
Huh? She used the power. Okay. Anyway, what I am going to say here, though, getting back to this, is it doesn't matter because they're not getting married.
Yeah. Aviendha has it pinned down because by both standards, so by Aiel customs, Aviendha is not going to ask Rand. And then by Emond's Field standards, like Aviendha doesn't have her mother's permission and Rand doesn't have anyone's permission. So it's like also not happening.
Right.
So by both standards,
but Rand is like, we'll just ask the wise ones.
Yeah.
And I think at some point they are going to get married.
Okay.
Like that prediction is still out there.
Okay.
Maybe not married officially, but with all of these customs, I just can't see them being together and not married. You know what I mean?
Not really honest. I was gonna say sort of, but I'm not even
you're
there.
also like Rand, confused by what I'm saying.
I'm just not sure about what you're talking about.
So Min's vision, where she was gonna have to share Rand.
Yeah, there's nothing about marriage in that.
No, but there's gonna be 2 other women that are all with him at the same time. I think.
That wasn't even the okay.
Remember though, this is another thing I'm right about. When we first met Avienda.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it.
Hey.
I don't think it was when we first met her. I think it was the first time she said, I'm never getting married. And then I was like,
and you're like, boom, getting married.
Bitches get married.
Yeah.
So here we go.
So, I mean, but that's the big thing. It's
here
like,
we
even
go.
the whole, it was like sharing
I think she's going to
Rand.
get married. To Rand. If that's not clear.
It's going to be a stripper pole celebration marriage ceremony.
Oh, I sure hope so.
It's going to be fantastic.
Well, no, we already saw the Dumb Two Rivers where they have to like wear this thing like 7 days.
Love it.
To display that they got married to everybody for a week.
I love it so much. It's great.
Although it's not a week in Randland, right? 10 days.
Yeah, which is also contested because of like
there are so many
RJ was not really clear about, like, he didn't really like to give a lot of it. Some things he likes to get information, but it's like, do you want to name the continent? Nope. Do we want to be sure about how long a week is? Not really important. Okay.
Do we want to be sure about how long a span is? Yes. Here's the exact measurement system. Look it up in the glossary. It's exactly this.
But we're never going to talk about it.
No, never.
Book. It doesn't matter. Okay. Anyways. Okay. So then we get the story about the 2 Emmonsfielders who did it in the hayloft and then got caught. So.
Right. That's funny. And then, well, not funny for them. Well, and, you know, it's interesting that Nynaeve was involved in all of that.
Yes, that's true.
Because she is very concerned about her beliefs and what
is.
Everybody should stick to. And it's the Emmonsfield 2 Rivers beliefs, and that's it.
It is the best.
But that's kind of not suiting her well out in the world where people think differently. She's having a hard time accepting that people have different cultures than her.
That's true. That's the hard part about that.
Right. Okay. Getting back to this, though. Rand gives it kind of one more shot and was like, but we did it. Like,
so we have to.
So we have to. And I started it. We have to get married and it doesn't matter about permissions. And Avienda just doubles down and is like, no, you didn't start this. Like, this was mutual, bud. This was consensual. Yeah. And it's not going to happen because you belong to Elaine.
Also, Avienda has toe towards Elaine now.
Oh. Obligation?
Yeah.
That's what that word means, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But then she goes, it's not your business though, Rand.
That's between her and Elaine and probably the wise ones, maybe.
Yeah.
If she, like, needs them to be involved.
Do you think Avienda's telling Elaine? Or is Rand telling Elaine?
Why are you asking me that?
Or is Avienda telling Egwene? And Egwene is telling Nynaeve. And Nynaeve is telling... Like, it's going to be a grapevine situation. And it's going to be terrible.
Okay.
Boom. That's how communication works in this series. For sure. That's how that happens.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah. I do feel bad for Rand, though, because he still is thinking of Elaine, and he has no idea where she is or what she's doing.
I think we can really blame this on Elaine for sending 2 very confusing letters.
No.
I'm sorry.
I don't think that's it. But, I mean, like, it's not wrong. Because he does at one point think he wishes he could just sit her down and ask her which letter is which. Because
we need to see these letters is what
I
needs to
think
happen.
that I get it. Yeah. I don't need to see anything. All right. So Avienda says this is never going to happen again.
Yes.
But she says it with some regret.
That's what Rand thinks.
Ah, right.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, unreliable narrator?
Really?
She's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
Yeah. Well, it's his first time. Let's be real.
Well, it's her first time too, so obviously nothing special.
That's true. Because she does say, I heard that men were lazy after.
Yeah.
It's like, that's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, my favorite thing throughout this entire thing is he keeps thinking how he's like excited by her putting on her stockings.
Yeah.
And then he's like, after what we just did, how is that still exciting?
Yeah.
I was like, Fran, God. Just the little things he's thinking
the guy some slack
throughout
here.
the whole thing is just so entertaining.
It's great. And it's like
so
super
good.
accurate. It's 100% accurate. It's great.
Yeah. All right. So they're getting dressed because they need to get out of here. And then Avienda has this like crazy thought where she's like, oh my God, where are we? How did we get here? Can you get us out of here? Because I can't. Are we stuck here forever?
Yeah.
What's happening? And Rand is like, don't worry about it. I got us covered.
Yeah.
I tied off your gateway over a mile back.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. And then maybe on their mile walk through the snow, they can like have a chat about gateways and like what you did.
Maybe.
Maybe they can talk about like, although that's communication.
That's also not how the one power works. We've been over this. Saidar and Saidin don't work like that.
No. I'm not talking about like teaching. I'm
Okay,
talking about
okay.
just Rand informing
being like,
Avienda,
this is what you did.
This is what you did.
Okay.
And like kind of how you did it from what I know.
Gotcha.
Like,
Avienda can go with Rand by making the gateway to travel, to go and snipe off
Avienda,
Couladin.
I don't know. Like, I guess we've seen her shoot fireballs, but like I said, I keep forgetting that Avienda can channel. It was so weird at the beginning for me when that happened.
Yeah.
Because there's no mention of it. Oh, well, there's like
There's a lot of hints, actually.
There's very few mentions of
There's
it.
a lot of mentions.
Yeah,
We
but
talked about all
not
of
in
them.
the like day-to-day that we see them.
Okay.
There's lots of overall mentions,
Yeah.
but little...
Well, that's a big thing, too. That's actually an important point, because Wise One training is less about the one power use and more about being a wise one.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Aes Sedai, it's like power
That's
use.
it. You learn how to use the power.
And it's like, you hope that you're also smart, but turns out...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, they're getting dressed. They're going to head back towards the gateway. We get some little funny things about nice butts.
Yeah.
Well, pretty behinds.
Pretty behinds, yeah.
Yeah. And Rand thinks that life is not going to be easier with Avienda after this.
That's probably true.
Such is life, Rand.
That's how it goes, buddy.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
You can punch your V card over there.
Yeah.
See you later. Turn it into management.
Do we have who did it first? Who do you think did it first?
Matt.
Okay, before Perrin?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're on
Yeah.
my side with
Yeah.
that.
At this point,
You
yeah.
just said that you're on my side with that?
Yeah. Well, like, yeah, at some point.
Yes.
I think
okay.
probably. I'm sad about
Okay.
it. I'm sad about it. But it's like the only thing that kind of makes sense. Especially with Rand being like, I'm as bad as Matt.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
well, and for sure he's done it with Melindra.
But that was after
Perrin.
and Fael
Right.
with the marriage thing.
Yeah. I think that maybe Matt, like, for sure, 100%, the first time that we get confirmation
Yeah.
is with Melindra.
Yeah, that's when it's like out in the open. But
So
like
maybe I'll take it. No, that was his first.
Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Boo.
nope, taking a hard stance.
Hate that.
That is opposite of yours because it's fun
that so
to
much.
argue with you. That's my favorite.
So in your world, Perrin
did it first, and which is like the opposite of what I thought.
Yeah.
When I first
but like by marriage.
was asked this question, yeah, but he did it right. He got like the women's circle blessing. He did his, except he didn't ask Fael's father for permission.
That's true, he didn't.
And she didn't ask her mother. That's actually what it is. It's not the father thing, but
well, I mean, like in
all
Hugh
right.
probably. Okay, anyways, we don't got time for that. So
yeah,
any way you cut it, Rand was last
of the boys
and had the coolest Igloo sex scene.
Like, oh, that's a bad pun. I'm actually kind of upset.
Nice. I didn't even mean to do that. That was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that you did that. That's why you were laughing.
Coolest?
Yeah, cool.
No, just because Igloo sex is like...
I'm a little upset that, like, where's Egwene's? Egwene's got to get hers.
Well, I mean, she's...
Because I thought when they first left, Egwene and Rand were going to do it first. That was my original in one of our first Q&As. Someone was like, who does it first? And I was like, Egwene and Rand are going to do it on the road together.
The problem with Egwene, she's flip-flopping. She's had a little thing about, like, the brothers.
Oh, Galad, Gawain.
A little flip-floppy action. I mean, maybe could have done something with Aram back in the day, but, like, that was a little too soon. A little too soon, probably.
Probably.
And she hasn't had much interaction besides that, so...
She's, like, busy saving the world.
It's not important to her.
She's a career woman.
And
it's annoying. But, like, what's Rand doing? Not busy saving the world? Why can't Egwene have a sex life and save the world?
That's what I'm saying. She needs to pick. She needs to decide. Again, this is on her, so...
This is on her.
This is on her.
And we're definitely assuming that Nynaeve is not sleeping with Lan until they're married.
Yeah, that's just like a values thing, and that's fair.
That's a values thing, 100%.
Yeah. But it's like, of all of them, Nynaeve, if she had her way, she would be number one.
if she had her way, she's gonna get married first.
But Lan won't give up the whole like, oh, I can't give myself
marry
to
you
you
because
I have
then
to
you'll
go.
be a widow.
Yeah, I have to go die.
I can't make a widow. Okay.
Terrible. Okay.
All right. This is an easy one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Before you go have sex for the first time in an igloo, I'm gonna say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Cody Bouts, Yanis, Megan Smiley, and Jonathan Reese, with music by Audionautics.com. And this is where Lila and I tell you all about how to support us over at Patreon. You can find us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast, and our July summer sale is still going on. Lila, did you know that people have requested that you do this with me all the time? And you can find all the ways to connect with us over at our website at www.thewheelweavespodcast.com. Remember to give us that 5-star rating, leave a nice comment, and tell a friend about us. We'd really appreciate it. Do you want to help me tell the people that this is part of the pattern now? That's right. Thanks for your help.